on 7/24/56 easily.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first Microsoft Team stream. We are live, Ms. Matias. We are streaming on YouTube. You may proceed with the May 20th Executive Review Session.
Good morning. This is the New York City Board of Standards and Appeals review session for May 20th, 2024. We'll begin with the adjournments. Item number 1, 2020. Oh, just to note that Vice Chair Shabeta is absent. The first item is adjournments, 2023-22BZ, 1A Jarvis Court, Queens. Item number 2, deferrals. Item number 2, 397-47BZ. Excuse me.
I just want to make a note. We received a deferment letter from the applicant, and the applicant stated had initially requested this, requested a deferral for April 15th hearing, and then requested the May 20th as a decision date. And in its recent letter, the applicant requested to defer the May 20th hearing and stated that stated its reason that there was little time given between submission deadline to address the matter. I just want to state it for the record that the applicant selected the May 20th date, not the board or the staff. And I will strongly ask that applicants, before they pick a date for hearing, do so knowing the submission due deadline, and speak to the project manager. This would be beneficial to everybody, including the board and also the applicant. Now the applicant is requesting to defer this to for July 15th hearing. Go ahead.
Okay, deferrals. Item number 2, 397-47BZ, Volume 2, 6401 Woodhaven Boulevard, Queens. Item number 3, 41687BZ, Volume 3, 547, 551 West 133rd Street, Manhattan.
Okay. Actually, I just want to state one thing. We have the DCAS IT team here, and they've been really helpful in our ability to transition.
Okay. Decision items. Item number...
Oh, sorry, I haven't stated the decision on the Woodhaven, the Atlantic one, 2025.
We haven't called it
We
yet.
haven't called that? I thought you did call it just.
No. I just finished calling the last deferred.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Decision items. Item number 4, 48982BZ, 2025 Atlantic Avenue, Brooklyn.
Okay, we received all the necessary documents the applicant was going to provide, and there was the community vote was missing, and the applicant has represented that they had presented to the community board on February 27th, and it has been now more than 60 days since the community board was notified. I think we gave the board enough time to call a vote on this, so I am actually satisfied with the applicant's effort to reach out to the community board, and so far everything that the applicant has been submitted has addressed my concerns. I just want to make sure, if commissioners, you're all satisfied with everything that's been submitted. Okay, good. So then I make motion to approve with conditions that trash pickup shall be between 10 a.m. to 12 midnight on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. That's what they had proposed.
Okay.
And trash is in a store, is stored inside the
Right,
facility.
yeah, and trash is stored inside.
I think it's 10 a.m., I thought it was 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yeah, to noon.
Oh, 12 p.m. or
Yes.
not? Okay, 12 p.m. I thought they said midnight, 12. Can we check?
Yeah, let's just quickly double.
Can we just check quickly
25,
on the submission?
hang on.
Yes, it says 12 p.m., yes.
It says 12 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, then I read it incorrectly. So it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, thank you. Motion to approve?
Chair Shonda,
Aye?
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Application has been granted. Item number 5, 725 56BZ, 4242 Francis Lewis Boulevard, Queens. We just received a photo from, an email from the applicant this morning at 9:54.
We just did?
Yeah, and I forwarded it to everyone.
Okay, so 9:54, we sit down for hearings at, so we have to look at the drawings right now?
It's a photo of bollards, and according to the cover letter, it is responding to the latest notice, the variance in question allows for the operation of an auto repair shop with residential zoning. The attached documents include cover letter and bollard progress photos. And that's what that photo is supposed to be showing, that bollards were installed.
Okay. Well, that's good. Were everybody able to see?
I'm looking at the photo right now.
Thank you.
I'm
So
So I
trying
think
to
we only
hear it.
received one photo. This is
One
the
photo.
bollard along the, where the tandem parking spaces are. Okay, this is great. Okay. So the applicant did submit a revised plan, and the applicant in its cover letter also stated that they're working towards improving the site, and we just saw a photo that the applicant submitted of installing the bollards as directed by the board. So we see the
Thank you,
bollards,
Commissioner.
the metal, concrete metal bollards on the one side of it. The other side, we don't have the photos of, but that's in progress. And the other part of the application was for the applicant to restore the third curb cut. And so application has been filed at DOB to restore the curb cut. So I think these are all good steps in the right direction, and I do appreciate the property owner, the operator, and the applicant working towards that. I think we are very close to the goal, so I'm going to suggest that we give the board, the applicant till August. Basically, we have a hearing in August, so between now and August, there is enough time to secure the approval, work permit to restore the curb cut and install the rest of the bollards and provide the photos. If they need an extra month and come back in September, that's fine with me too. And I just want to give that flexibility into their schedule so they can work towards that and let us know when they will be ready to be, for the board to take a decision. Either it would be end of August or it would be in September. So I would recommend that we defer this. They are moving in the right direction. This is all very good, and I want to thank the property owner, the applicant, the operator working with us on this. Commissioners, do you have any thoughts on this? Would you?
I think it makes sense to give them 3 more months
Okay, 3 more
to
months
close the curb cut.
Okay.
And then we could send them off on their way
for a
in
10-year.
compliance.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we can give them a 10-year term after that. So, okay, 3 months. So that will be June, July, August, so September.
Okay, September.
Okay, September hearing. So that gives plenty of time. Summer is here, so it should be easy to restore the curb cuts and for them to dry, all of that. Great, thank you.
Item number 6, 2022-89A and 2022-90A, 6110 and 6112 Menahan Street, Queens.
All right, so we received all the revised documents, and the building also will be sprinklered. We also received a letter of no objection from fire department. Are you all satisfied with the information provided? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to approve with the following conditions. That the access to the site shall be provided from both Menahan Street and 61st Street for emergency purposes as per the BSA approved plan. The building shall be sprinkler per code requirement. Sidewalk improvements are for, though for illustrative purposes only, will require DOB and DOT review and approval. Builder's pavement plan shall be submitted for review and approval by DOB and DOT prior to implementation, and that the street construction shall be implemented per approved builder's pavement plan and pursuant to DOT standard prior to obtaining a TCO. And if the existing sewer water protrude inside the property, the sewer corridor easement must be provided inside the property to maintain these facilities and secure the necessary DOP approval. Those are the recommendations.
I have one question.
Sure.
The most recent cover letter discusses that they have not received the DOT letter regarding whether this is in the capital plan, but they did submit a screenshot of the capital plan map.
Yes.
And so going forward, because we have in the past required the DOT letter, but is the map something that we want to rely on?
Because it is from the record and that it's a public record, so I would be okay with that.
Yeah, it
Because,
does seem to simplify that step if we can rely on this map.
yeah, and, ideally, it would be wonderful if we get that kind of confirmation from DOT, but this has been we have been reviewing this for some time, so.
Yeah, no, I
that should
was
be sufficient.
curious about where we stood with this
Yeah.
map and our reliance on it, but, okay, that
We
sounds
could.
great. Yeah.
But you wanna like leave the door open if the DOT has something in the storage and they wanna publish it later, that would leave the door open for DOT to opine on that application later, whether by approving the builder pavement plan then, or taking whatever decision they believe that's appropriate to them.
Well, the builder's pavement plan is so first of all, there is already an existing building on this site. So the applicant is proposing to basically tear down that existing building, and that existing building is actually in the bed of the mapped street, which has never been built. So,
Can I save your time?
Sure.
I'm not talking specifically about this case, I'm talking about the principle itself. If we're gonna rely on the map without waiting for the DOT letter to come in, we wanna give them the option to opine on these kind of applications. If we're not doing so, we're eliminating their role
we
in
do,
reviewing.
so just for the record, we do send these notices to DOT, DEP immediately when the application comes to us, and we specifically ask for this question.
Okay. Yeah, I know that, yeah.
And, yeah, thank you. All right, motion to approve with those conditions?
Chair Shanda,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Application's been granted. Item number 7, 2023, 14A, 1707 Richmond Terrace, Staten Island.
Okay, so we received a letter of no objection from Fire Department. The applicant represents that community board, we had held it off at the last hearing because the community board wanted to hear it. But the applicant represents that the community board stated that this, according to the community board, the site did not qualify for GCL 36 waiver. So to that end, the applicant reached out to the Staten Island DOB Borough Commissioner, who affirmed that a GCL 36 waiver was required. So I think, in all fairness, the board has given a lot of time to the community board the opportunity to hear. We even deferred one hearing. So I think we can move ahead. The applicant has responded to all the comments, and we have all the necessary sign-off from our sister agencies. So I would recommend that we approve this application. If you're in agreement, yep, okay, then motion to approve.
Chair Shanda,
Aye?
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Application has been granted. Item number 8, 2023-32A, 2023-33A, and 2023-34A, 1523 and 29 Radigan Avenue, Staten Island.
Okay, so we received DEP sign-off, and I'm going to make a motion that we approve this application with the following conditions. That though the sidewalk improvements are for illustrative purposes, it will require DOB and DOT review and approval post BSA approval, and the construction of the street and the sidewalk shall be implemented pursuant to an approved builder's pavement plan by DOB and DOT and built to DOT standard prior to obtaining a TCO for these units.
Motion to approve? Chair Shanda?
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta?
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon?
Aye.
Application has been granted. Item number 9, 2023-66A, 25 Chester Avenue, Staten Island.
So the applicant has provided all the additional information that the board had required, and also has responded to comments that were raised by DOT, which were though primarily related to, correcting the street names and dimensions and map street widths. And the applicant also agreed to comply with the sidewalk repair as stated by DOT in its email. So with that, did everybody have a chance to review the latest set of plans that were submitted? Yeah, okay. With that, I then make a motion to approve with the following conditions. Sidewalk improvements are for illustrative purposes only and will require DOB and DOT review and approval. Applicant shall be responsible for repairing the sidewalk on both street frontages and for the width of the sidewalk. The sidewalk width shall be consistent with the existing sidewalk widths in front of the adjacent residential properties, and that the sidewalk shall be built to DOT standard. And if a BPP is required, builder's pavement plan that is, it shall be submitted to DOB and DOT for approval and shall be implemented per DOT standard prior to obtaining a TCO. With that, I make a motion to approve.
Chair Shanda?
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta?
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon?
Aye.
Application has been granted. Item number 10, 2021-51BZ, 2020-52A, 2020-53BZ, 2020-54A, 95N105, Ridgeway, Staten Island.
Okay.
Ridgeway Avenue, Staten Island, sorry.
I think we have to second call this tomorrow, towards the end of the hearing.
Item number 11, sorry, just let me put on my note here, second call. Item number 11, 2023-35BZ, 11-17 Bay Park Place, Queens.
Okay, so we have all the necessary sign-offs, and the applicant has revised the plans with all the, and the statement of fact also. Did everybody have a chance to see the latest set? Great, good. So then I make a motion to approve with the following conditions: that planting and fencing shall be installed prior to obtaining a TCO. Landscaping shall be maintained at all times. No sound amplification shall be permitted on the roof or from the rear yard, and roof shall not be used for student occupancy or recreation.
Motion to approve. Chair Shanda?
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown?
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta?
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon?
Aye.
Application has been granted. Item number 12, 2023-48BZ, 7509 Shore Road, Brooklyn.
We will have to second call this for tomorrow also.
Oh, I thought it was being deferred.
Second call this for tomorrow towards the end of the day.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Item number 13, 2023-74BZ, 1871 54th Street, Brooklyn.
Okay, so the applicant has submitted all the revised, a revised plan, and the width has been reduced to 18 feet. This allows for two 2-foot wide side yards for a total of 5 foot and a 6-foot open area between the buildings. I think this is exactly what the board had asked, and commissioners, are you all satisfied with? Okay. And we received 3 letters of objection, and the objections are regarding traffic, parking, neighborhood character. I just want to reiterate those who are listening. This is a building that's a 3-story building for one family home with a parking garage. The waiver is to reduce the side yard width. So there's no increase in the density that is being proposed. For whatever reason, there seems to have been a confusion on this one also, where the community board had the application since very early period of the submission, and the applicant, I believe, had reached out. We received a communication from the applicant. The applicant had reached out to the community board requesting to schedule the hearing, but that did not happen. I think more than 60 days has been given to the community board to weigh in on this. So I would suggest that we, this is, the use is as of right, the density is as of right, parking is being provided as required. The only thing is a waiver of the yards. And so I would recommend that we approve this application, and my condition would be that the building be sprinklered.
And I just want to add that now the proposed building width meets the average for the building width is with similar lot widths in the neighborhood, within 400 feet radius from the subject side.
Yeah.
That makes it like meet the character of
Yeah.
the neighborhood.
Yeah. And that is why the board had directed the
Yes.
applicant to reduce the width of it to meet the character
Yeah.
of the neighborhood, which the applicant had agreed to do so and has complied. Okay. If everybody's satisfied, then I make a motion to approve with that condition that the building shall be sprinklered.
Okay, just for the record, Vice Chair is present. The case that we're going to vote on right now is 2023-74BZ, 1871 54th Street, Brooklyn. Okay, motion to approve, Chair Shonda,
Aye?
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Application has been granted. Special order calendar, continued hearing items, item number 14, 8599BZ, Volume 2, 1106 Metcalf Avenue, the Bronx.
Okay, so at the last hearing that was held on March 11th, board had to reopen the case since the site was still not complying with the conditions of the board. Specifically, the site visit from the office revealed that the site was overrun by food trucks. The applicant was notified of the condition. The applicant, in its recent submission, stated that their client has agreed to cease the operation of food truck on the site, and the photos of the site conditions were provided, and also an affidavit from the dealer was provided. First of all, I have to say the fact that they have ceased the operations seems troubling because it shouldn't have happened from the very beginning. And I'm just going to read out the history of the site. The history of this site has been very problematic. After granting a variance in 1953, though the site went through a change of use, the record shows, apart from a certificate of occupancy that was obtained in 1986, which has expired, the site has been operating without a certificate of occupancy for over 30 years. In 2020, prior board had approved an extension of term and a time to obtain certificate of occupancy for a 1 year and a 6-month period because of the non-compliancy that was observed on the site. The board is observing a similar pattern of disregard of board's conditions. And in addition, while the board was sympathetic with regards to extending the time to obtain the certificate of occupancy because of the pandemic, given the operator, property owner's inability to manage the site, I want the applicant to start with not only removing the food truck from the site, but also show proof of filing for certificate of occupancy at DOB before we consider voting on this application. And similar to prior board, extension of the term and time to obtain a certificate of occupancy will be in tandem and will be granted for no more than 1 year from the time of the grant. I want to hear from the other commissioners regarding their thoughts on this time frame and to extend the term. Vice Chair Shibata.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with your comments, and I have nothing further to add.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Otley Brown.
I think the applicant's representative has to make it very clear to the owner of the site what the, how important it is that they comply with the board's directives and resolution conditions, because I have to say, I did a site visit on the 15th of May, and I submitted photos, which I believe were uploaded to submit. Were they?
I didn't
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I've submitted them to
Okay.
the chair that showed that there were still cars parked in the gasoline pump aisles that clearly were not gassing up. I believe one of them didn't even have a plate on it. So they're being stored or they're providing some kind of community parking on the site. As well, I saw a car parked on the sidewalk just in front of the building, but to the left and on the sidewalk, and that actually had a foreign license plate, not even an American license plate. And if you look behind the fences to the sides of each building, they're storing debris there. It's not clean and clear. And when I drove a little further along and looked to my left across the street, there were all the food trucks. So I'm not confident that the food trucks are gonna remain off of the site.
Okay, that's troubling. If you could send the drawing, the photos to submit, so that the applicant also gets a copy of that. That would, and that is
Send it
very
to him.
recent. So you, when
That
did
was
we go?
last Wednesday,
Last Wednesday, and we received this submission on.
on the 11th, I believe. Well, I reviewed it
No,
on
actually,
the 11th.
April 23rd, we got this submission. So between then and now, already, so there is this is very troubling. The owner has to attend, yes. The owner and operator, whoever is responsible for maintaining the site, they both have to attend. Thank you. Commissioner Shedder, thank you, Commissioner Otley Brown, for going on a site visit.
I saw the owner submitted an affidavit indicating that the site personnel agreed to, like, keeping the food trucks away. I believe, yeah, it was something like that. We should like put a condition, and the language in the condition, I would recommend that it's not like similar conditions. Usually when we have something that we wanna, the site, some rule that we're willing that the site play with, we say, like, deviation from this rule may result in voiding the grant. I believe if there is some sites are playing games with us and that they are submitting affidavit and photos saying that we're gonna abide with the rules, and later on we discover that this is not the case, I believe the condition language should say this: if you deviate from that rule, it should result in, not may, should result. And they understand that if you deviate, if you do not play with the rule that we put in our grant, it's an automatic voiding of whatever grant you have. I believe putting the language like that would make him think like 10 times before they deviate from whatever we direct him to do.
Okay. Well, I will discuss this with our council.
Yep.
And seek their guidance in terms of how it is worded to give that teeth that you're looking for. Commissioner Ayum.
Thank you. I agree with your proposal for timeline. I have nothing further to add.
Okay. Thank you.
Next item number 15, 13193 BZ, Volume 3, 3743 Nostrand Avenue. This case was actually moved to June 10th, so we won't discuss it.
Okay.
New cases, item number 16, 24147 BZ, 16-2325 Hancock Street, Queens.
Okay, we received proof of service of initial filing and hearing notices. Community Board has voted to approve this application. This is an application for a 10-year extension of term pursuant to Section 11-411 of a previously approved variance, permitting the operation of a custom woodworking and furniture shop, use group 16A, and an art studio, which is use group 9A, and this expired on January 29, 2024. The applicant doesn't have to provide a proof of continuous use on this case, and the applicant is not proposing any change. With regards to the compliance, I'm satisfied, but there was one condition on the 2015 grant, and I do not have the record of the prior board conditions, and I do not know if those are still in effect, so I would like the applicant to provide those conditions of 2015 and indicate whether they comply or not. Overall, from the photos provided and from Google Street View, the site does appear to be in good condition. So far, I have not received any objections from the neighbors or from the community board vote stated it that this was, this was a good site. So they have had no issues. So I don't have any issues with the application.
Okay.
Everything is okay? My camera?
Master's camera.
Oh,
He's
I'm
on.
so sorry. I thought my camera was on. My.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
oh,
sorry.
okay.
You're fine.
No, I
Everything's fine?
thought she was because this was covering. Yeah, we're all good.
All right. Vice Chair Shabeta.
I was satisfied with this application. I didn't seem to find many interior photos. Did other board members find many photos of the interior?
No, I.
No.
So I'd only ask that they provide us with interior photos.
Any reason that you would, because the prior grant didn't really weigh in on any of the interior issues, so I'm trying to
I
understand.
thought that they were going to change, while they weren't changing the envelope, they were making changes on the interior, and I just wanted to have a better understanding of that.
Okay. Commissioner Oakley Brown?
I have no comments.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Shetta?
Thank you, Chair. I'm satisfied with the application.
Okay. Commissioner Yoon?
Thank you. I have no issues with the application. I just didn't see a proposed set of plans, and I'm not sure if I missed them. I only found existing plans from a prior approval, and I believe we need a clean set of plans.
Were they changing anything?
I thought they,
I didn't read that.
I think we always do, when you have the previously approved plans, we ask for a
Yeah.
set of
Of a new-
existing /
right, but I
proposed
thought I
plans to
did see.
accompany them. I know there was one case where I raised that question now.
Yeah, I
gotta
saw that.
find it.
There were
Yeah.
two, so it was 2 times I noticed that because, but these are not maybe I'm confusing it, because this set that they submitted is not the previously approved plan, so maybe it is the clean set.
Okay, let me just,
If it's not bubbled, it's a clean set.
I just want to look at it. I thought I saw.
Oh, yeah, my comment was for the next case that's on, actually.
The case number is 241, right?
24147BZ, Hancock Street.
Hancock, revised
Yeah,
statement.
you know what, these are not the previously approved, so I think these will work. They say existing and proposed, so that is my mistake. Because
Okay.
they're a scan, I assumed that they were the previously approved, but they're just signed and sealed by the architect. So I take that back. I was satisfied with the application.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay. No, it's always good to double check on these, so.
Sometimes they just scan them and remove the approved stamp from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is scanned, but there's been like no change whatsoever. Sorry.
Let me know when to move on.
Just give me a second. My computer has just been very
No,
slow.
I'm just waiting for you.
Okay, all right. Go ahead.
Okay, new case, item number 17, 1693BZ, 110 Christopher Street, Manhattan.
Okay, we unfortunately have to postpone this
Okay, no.
because the applicant, well, the applicant needs to, because of proof of initial filing, we need the proof of initial filing and also do not have the proof of hearing notice. More importantly, the applicant just as of Friday, I think, notified us that the applicant needs to be postponed because the scope of the amendment has changed.
Yes.
So it would be I think, and the applicant should go back to the community board with the revised scope. So they will need some time.
Okay. Item number 18, 6213BZ, 2703 East Tremont Avenue, the Bronx.
Okay, we received, due to, so this is an interesting one. So the proof of service initial filing was sent out properly. Though due to redistricting, the application notice was not received by the applicable councilmatic district. So based on that, and I looked at the Zola map still shows the old councilmatic district. So we should hear this application. Council, you're okay? And the applicant has to notify the appropriate council members' office as soon as possible. We have not received a community board vote on this. This is an application for a 5-year extension of term of a previously approved special permit pursuant to 73-243 that permitted the operation of an accessory drive-through facility for an as-of-right eating and drinking establishment, in this case Wendy's. This expired on July 9, 2023, and the applicant is also seeking a waiver of board's rules and practice and procedure. A couple of housekeeping. The radius land use diagram is incomplete. The land use map needs to show the existing zoning districts, including commercial overlay, and the land use of the site within the study area indicate the tax lots, the block, and lot numbers. We can provide a sample to the applicant if the applicant is not familiar with our HPD standards. So the problem with this application is I did not see the proposed plan. The applicant submitted a DOB plan set, and that is not the same set that helps us review this application specifically pursuant to an accessory drive-through. Specifically, what the board needs to look at, first they need to submit the existing plan, which I believe they have, but with the proposed plan, they need to show where the existing curb cuts are, the curb cut widths, where the drive-through lanes are, and how many cars can be within those drive-through lanes, and they have to meet all the prior conditions. The prior condition required that there be a drive-through, that the drive-through lane should accommodate 10 or 11 or 12, however many cars, then that's the number we are looking for. Then the landscaping has to comply. The number of vehicles that are required, the spaces, accessory parking spaces, those need to be indicated. Location of the trash containers, all of those need to be indicated. Where are the stop signs for exiting vehicles? Are there any particular direction that the prior board condition that only if you exit you have to make a right turn or you have to make a left turn? Those are the requirements of the prior board that if there were any, those need to be reflected in the proposed plan. So those need to be done. So without that, I cannot weigh in on whether this application is in compliance with the prior grant. Similarly, the compliance chart also is missing. We need the applicant to provide a compliance chart that shows that the site complies with all the prior board grants. Specifically, there was a condition of signage, that the signage has to comply with the C12. And for that, the applicant not only has to show that in their plan that the signage is complying with C12, but also have to provide us a signage chart. On this side, I do not believe a lumen study is required because the abutting uses are commercial uses, and it's surrounded by streets on all three sides. So I do not think a lumen study is required. Landscaping, based on the photos that were provided, and when I compared it to the previously approved plan, there are gaps in the landscaping. So now it's a perfect season. So please go and get the landscaping cleared up. There are shrubs that are missing. With regards to the hours of operation for the drive-through, confirm that the prior hours of operation for drive-through will still be maintained, which was a Sunday 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Mondays through Thursdays 6:30 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Fridays to Saturdays 6:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. I do see on the photos the trash enclosure, and it seems to be in good condition, but the applicant does need to provide not only the view of the site from outside, but also within. So there is good amount of information the board needs for us to provide more information, but this is for the starter.
Okay, if I may interrupt you, just so, the person that has their hand up, which I tried to put down, Mr. Alexander, there is no testimony taken at this time. Once we put this cases on to a public hearing, you'll be afforded the opportunity to comment. And so please put your hand down again, and don't raise it up again. Thank you.
Until we ask,
Until we have public hearing.
yes, thank you.
Okay. let me just-
Vice Chair Shabeta.
Thank you, Chair.
You
I
won't let me
shared
do
your
that.
concerns. I also did not find the proposed plans. I thought that was an error, but apparently that seems that no one's found them here.
Not the proposed plan, the way we need to review it. They submitted a DOB permit-related plan, which doesn't pick up all the issues that we need to review.
Right, and they had submitted the previously approved plans. And so I did reach out to the project
Vinway.
manager, and they in turn reached out to the applicant, who said they would be coming under separate cover as soon as they could manage to get it together. So they did
Okay.
respond.
Oh,
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, the project manager has his hand up, Mr. Bell?
Yes, Mr. Bell?
Just one point, Chair. You mentioned HPD, but I believe you might have been referring to the BSA when you mentioned standards.
Oh, I'm sorry, BSA standards.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
My
Okay.
prior agency, all due respect, they have nothing to do with eating and drinking establishments.
Nothing further from me, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Otley Brown, do you want to add any more?
I did not find the signage analysis sheet to go with this, and I agree with you that the landscape appears to need sprucing up and maybe some new plantings based on the photos. I have not gone to the site, though, to confirm that.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Shetta?
Thank you, Chair. I agree with you that no luminous spread is needed. This is the only positive thing I have on this application. I would say I couldn't find the application on this case. No statement of facts. The statement of facts is just cover letter. I did send an email to the project manager to convey it to them that what you submitted is not a statement of facts. It's a letter of contents. Like some other applicants submit a separate statement, and then they submit a table of contents for the submission.
We will, I think, I don't know if this applicant has been before
I
us.
don't believe
No.
they have.
So we should provide some guidance and give them
Yes,
some
I agree,
sample.
yes. And there is no DOB set that was submitted, I didn't see that.
It was submitted, I think,
was like on
Friday.
Thursday or Friday.
Friday. It-
Oh, maybe I
it-
didn't
it
see.
loo- It doesn't say DOB set, but it says permit set something. That's the
Oh, okay,
heading of it.
okay.
So I think this is a document that is being prepared to get a DOB permit,
I get it.
but all the information is,
Okay,
Not
and
yet.
I saw the previously approved set, and I saw like a paper that says attachment this, proposed plans, see attachment such and such, which is the previously approved. Come on, copy and paste it.
Okay.
I mean, thank you.
Someone mute or
somebody
background
mute,
noise?
somebody needs
I
to
think
mute.
the TV is on. The voice.
Oh.
is-
No,
Oh.
I think so, it's not muted, but the TV is on.
Can we put,
Finroy needs to mute.
Mr. Bell, can you mute? Oh,
You got him? Okay, sorry.
I'm not able to. I'll figure it out, hopefully. Commissioner Yoon?
Thank you. I had similar comments to you about submission materials. I don't have anything additional to add.
Okay.
Okay. Zoning, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. may I
Please
move
go
on?
ahead.
Okay. Zoning calendar, continued hearing items. Item number 19, 2023.
I think everyone's muted now.
I'm sorry. Ms. Benke?
We're muted.
We're all muted?
Oh, did you hit
Well,
something
it just
wrong,
said,
Chris?
There's something says unmute.
Unmute.
No, you did Vinroy. That was it. Oh, yeah, we're all muted. What
We're
happened?
we're all muted.
Oh, what happened?
I can't hear.
Yeah, we're all muted.
Can't hear you.
Something you did, Chase. Don't touch any of the
Okay.
computer.
Testing?
We can hear you now.
Can hear you,
Yes.
Kevin. Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, but there's an echo.
I know, I'm trying to get this TV to be turned out, I forgot how I do it.
You all sound clear from the side.
On the side. Oh. I thought it was on the side, the button.
Is it better now? Yeah, there's no echo here. And Ms. Benke, can you hear us?
Yes.
Great, okay.
Okay.
Where are we?
So let me call it again.
Yes, please.
Continued hearing items, 19, 2023, 71BZ, 504, 510 East 62nd Street, 511 East 61st Street, Manhattan.
Okay. At the initial hearing that was held on April 15th, board had asked for some additional analysis to address the E-finding. And the submission that was provided includes additional videos, visual graphics to justify the need for a comprehensive wayfinding signage that is visible from all the approach points to this facility. At the last hearing, board recognized that the visibility of the site and the wayfinding signage is impacted, and each viewpoint is impacted by different factors. However, board wanted to know, at least some of the board members wanted to know if it was possible to retain the existing sign on the south facade, which is most visible for those approaching the site from eastbound 61st Street and northbound York Avenue. In its submission, the applicant clarified that any addition of signage on the south-facing facade would require additional variance to the signage regulation, which definitely is not the way to meet the minimal requirement. And as I look through the analysis, I agree with the applicant's statement on this matter. The additional analysis also identified other impediments, including the bus layover area along the western side of York Avenue, the billboards at the northeast corner of East 61st Street and York Avenue. Since the signage needs to be visible for all these access points, the applicant is proposing this westernmost. It would be on the south facade on the west-facing side. So, I looked through all the videos that were provided, the renderings, and they do support the narrative and reasonings. And I would say barring, we don't want to remove any trees or trim them, and they need to grow naturally beautiful. We need all the greenery. So based on that, I am satisfied with the requested waiver. It meets all the findings. Vice Chair Shibeta.
I was satisfied by the submission. I felt it was it explained it very nicely. I have no further comments or questions.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Otley Brown?
So although they couldn't respond with a video with the sign superimposed, I did understand their explanations for why the sign at the proposed location on the west-facing portion of the building made the most sense. I also actually did a site visit approaching the building from the FDR Drive and definitely understood the issues involved with the existing height of the signage on the south-facing side. And, I realized that they are the experts in determining where best to put their signage, and so I will certainly defer to their expertise concerning the signage on the west-facing frontage, being that they are dead on in their explanation as to why the south-facing frontage would not work at the height it's at.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think south-facing sign, if it worked, that would have been the ideal location. But since it doesn't, to address that entryway, everything then kind of has to be readjusted, and that's why the need for that western, the southwest signage. And, I did visit the site when it was not fully green. And I did not see the bus layover area, but then when I did see the video, yes, the bus layover area does also impact your visibility from both sides of York Avenue frontage. And so, you cannot cover every entry points, but they're trying their most by covering most common routes, and I was satisfied with it. Yeah, thank you. Commissioner Shetta.
Thank you, Chair. I have no further comments.
Okay. Commissioner Yoon.
Thank you. I appreciate the very thorough response and detailed analysis, and I am satisfied.
Okay, great. Thank you. I do want to thank the applicant for thinking through the way to present this argument. I know it's very obvious to them, but I think this way it was represented was very helpful and clarified it. So I want to thank the applicant for their thoughtful way of presenting the matter to us.
Item number 20, 2022, 95 BZ, 1249 Cedar Avenue, Brooklyn.
Okay. I'm just scrolling through my notes. Let me go to my... So on, in its 329 submission, the applicant provided the reasons to reopen the case and had submitted a revised plan, operational plan, and photos of the improved site plan. So based on the submission, the revised changes are in response to a traffic engineering study that was done, which is a realignment of the on-street parking spaces, providing additional bollards along Euclid to channel the car wash queuing. They're also proposing street trees on Dozier and Sutter with much more landscaping area to deter parking on the sidewalk. And I think these are all very good suggestions and proposals. And I do believe these additional measures will address the remaining concerns that the board had. And the only change the applicant is proposing is not to install the trench drain that would be parallel to Dozier, and they provided a photo, and it is, from the photo, is very clear that the Dozier Avenue sidewalk is at a higher elevation than the exit from the car wash. So it wouldn't, the trench drain would not catch any water. So it would defeat the purpose. So I want to thank the property owner for responding to the board's comments and work with the board in improving the site condition. They provided trees. They even went and added some beautiful flowers. That's great. I just hope they can continue to maintain it in that manner for the next 10 years until they're here. So don't just shine now and let it fade out. Let it shine all throughout as a beautiful site. The applicant also provided a revised operational plan. I'm fine with the corrections that's been proposed. I just want to know what is the timeline to provide the enclosed trash structure. I want the applicant to confirm if the car wash signage parallel to Euclid Avenue at the northern lot line has been permanently removed. And at the 4/15 review session, April 15th review session, board had asked the applicant to consider additional improvement, especially regarding securing the north side along Dozier. And the applicant has not responded to that. So if the applicant can talk about that at the hearing. Also, the discarded material that were stored on the roof of the building, I want to know if those have been removed, as they may be a fire hazard. So the applicant should be prepared to respond to those questions at the public hearing. Vice Chair Shibata.
Thank you, Chair. I too found the application to be responsive, and I think the only outstanding questions are the ones that you stated with regard to the trash, and outside of that, I wouldn't have an objection to closing this after hearing.
Okay. Okay. Commissioner Otley Brown?
I have no additional comments or questions.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Shetta?
Thank you, Chair. Same here. I have nothing further to add.
Thank you. Commissioner Yoon?
Thank you. The only thing I wanted to add to what you had commented is that along the side lot line, that instead of a continuous planting bed, they're now proposing these 2-foot by 2-foot planting beds that are separate and distinct, with the claim that that will prevent rodents and keep things cleaner. So it seems counter to what we usually ask for, which is a deeper, wider bed for plants to grow. It also seems much more complicated if it's in-ground, because then you're chipping out smaller, more discrete portions of it. So I just wanted some explanation on what the actual plan is for those new square planting beds, if they're in-ground, and how deep they're going to be, and what you think will grow there, as opposed to a continuous 4-foot wide planting bed as we would normally see.
Yeah, it was an interesting approach. Yeah, that would be good to know how this would work. I'm assuming this is in-ground and not just something just on the surface. Though the plants from the 2 sets of photos that we received seems to be thriving, so there must be enough soil below for the roots to take shape. But the applicant can clarify that. Okay.
That's it? Okay, so this concludes the public review session for May 20th, 2024.
Okay, so we are approaching 11 o'clock, so I'm going to give 15 minutes. So let's join at 12:15.
11.
Oh, sorry, 11:15, I'm sorry.
It's Monday.
Monday, 11:15 for the public hearing to start.
Okay.
Thank you. And please note, we are on a Microsoft Teams, so do follow the guideline that has been provided on our website to join in on the Microsoft team. Thank you.
Okay. So what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, his camera's on.
Let me show you. You ready? This is what we gotta do.
So far, so good. Not too bad.
I'm not able to control it, and because,
I don't think you're an organizer, that's why.
so what happens if I'm doing it on my iPad, I'm not an organizer, so I cannot do it.
I don't see your organizer here at all.
You don't,
I don't see you as an organizer. See, Jella, Chase, Carlo.
yeah, so it seems I can only be organizer if I'm.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not down there with the Microsoft team on my.
Yeah, I'm not so.
So I have to figure out how to make that work. Because my computer has slowed down with the Microsoft team.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, the computers are,
It slowed down.
they are terrible, yeah. Very, very slow. And they crash like every 2 minutes
With the teams?
with everything.
These?
Really?
Yeah, these, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I've been fortunate, I've not experienced that, so that's good.
You're lucky.
Yes, I am.
You have too much storage or something?
The only thing I keep getting is an email, oops, sorry. I still keep getting that email about my virus protection being out of date and they're gonna shut me out of the system.
Yes, I got that before and I know how to
I'm
resolve
also
it.
getting
Just
something
update it.
from
Oh,
Mac-
no,
Mac
don't do this
feed.
to me, I'm getting a restart button.
Dara, go to the notification and
Uh-oh,
click
Nasser
update.
jinxed you.
You jinxed me.
Now,
I didn't talk about you. I was talking about Dara. When I said you're lucky,
No,
I
no,
was
we're talking
talking
about
about-
you saying how slow down the
So
computers
I'm also
are.
getting, when I'm trying to shut down the laptop, it says McAfee's update or something. And
Should I click on it and
I
tell it
look
later?
at it, I
Yes.
don't see anything.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
just-
And do it.
We can update the Mac feed,
Oh, is that what it is?
but I don't want to do it
I
right
don't,
now.
no, I don't, wanna- I saw it.
I did that update.
You did it,
Yeah.
you did it over the.
And it went through. You just
It's
go
not
to the
showing me
notification, the bell, click it, and it's gonna open the
And it says
update. And you say
update,
update, and it takes like 2 minutes.
Yeah. but
That's
not
all.
right now.
I was very afraid to do
Okay.
anything before we
Oh,
started.
no,
this
look at
hearing.
this. It's
Oh,
not
oh,
doing
yeah, I was afraid because it came from
No,
external,
it's
so I
not
wrote
doing
to
anything.
Carlo and said, is
Just
this for
restart.
real?
But it's not an email.
No, I
It's
pressed
a-
this.
Yeah,
What are you
but
pressing?
it says external.
This, so it won't
Actually,
restart
it is,
now.
yes,
Hard
yes,
workplace
yes.
Sorry, just
compliance,
restart,
device-
why?
Don't do it now.
device
Why?
violation.
You could
So
be
I was
fine.
like, I don't want to click on
Any,
anything.
for us,
It'd be 3
anything
minutes.
outside DCAS, you consider
All right.
external. Even the IT
So how-
department, they consider it
They couldn't hear us,
external. I
everybody
don't know
was
why.
muted.
Yeah, so this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
VMware,
They actually log it.
Yeah, Tracy
They-
said
they
we
did
can't
it to
hear
me,
you,
and I
so I
had
don't know if
to,
they did something to the TV again.
You see there is, you see that notification
What's it
sign
say?
going
Just
down?
restart anyway.
this.
No, 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 at the corner, you see the bell?
It's actually.
No, 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 go all the way to the right.
I don't know, so far,
All
but
the
the
way
hearing
to the
thing,
right
I
of the
gotta,
street.
It's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
here?
Just now
Yeah,
remember,
down,
when
down,
someone
the right,
raises their
that
hand,
corner.
you
Oh,
gotta allow
okay.
the
Yeah,
camera
click that down.
camera.
and allow, and then tell them. please
Workplace
turn your
One
camera
has
on.
accessed this
Please turn
device
your mic on.
location.
No, not
And I
that
think
one.
it was what, star
So
five?
you haven't gotten
Raise
a
your hand if
notification
you're
or
on
you
a phone
dismissed
call.
is it
I
stuff
don't
out?
know.
I don't
I
know.
haven't gotten
Still
locked
fine.
out, if that's what.
Oh,
you-
she's got the
I
thing, she'll
just
put it
didn't
out.
get this
Let me take a look at
Okay.
that.
Alright, let me-
No, because someone raised their hand.
So my doctor's not there today, tomorrow, 2:00.
Restrictions.
How you gonna do
placed on the
this?
Device will be lifted when.
You
your
think if we
device
finish
becomes
before 2 o'clock?
compliant, But it
The
did
date-
give me.
Case could- or somebody.
It says
Chase is
if
not
you
here
don't do it
tomorrow.
by that
Somebody
date,
can take it over.
Somebody's gotta take over. That's
I
important.
gotta get this.
Yeah, you gotta get that checked, that's somebody, that's ridiculous.
March 22nd. And then I had Carlo write them, and they said, don't worry about it. So I don't know.
maybe they
if that-
overrode it from there.
It's 800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure she gets it.
because I got the
The
same thing and I
insurance?
called
The insurance?
Oleg, the IT guy, and he said just update it. And I
No, it
went
gets,
through
I
that.
think,
But I didn't
many times your
dismiss the
salary?
You know, when you get a notification, if you just ignore it, you close it, it's gonna stay in that notification panel. But if you say
Okay, so-
dismiss, it goes away. Like the calendar, when you get a calendar notification and you dismiss it, doesn't come back. But if you just close it and you open the calendar, you're gonna see that notification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's good. to know.
Carlo told me to restart it. I hope he's right.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm restarting. Carlo told me to restart.
Well, we have 15 minutes, you should,
Yeah. Camera, mic, when people raise their hands. Come on, hurry up. Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Do you see the president of Iran is dead?
and the
And the the foreign minister? Oh, my God. No, but why are they traveling in that cloudy, bad weather? But I think so. Everybody was saying it, and it's like, seems, there's, my sister calling me, she says, "Do you see that?" And I said, "What are you gonna do?" Something's up.
Then this morning you hear about.
All kinds of things. Okay.
Don't have to work out to open up.
Carlo will do the talking.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Shore Road with DOT to say,
Mm,
we're done,
Yeah.
hopefully, they agree. Oh, yeah, today, yeah.
Come on, hurry up, calendar.
It's at 11:15.
It's all your fault, Vice Chair.
Yes.
It's all your fault, Vice Chair. You said, because I said it's all your fault.
I just smell like feet over by me.
Right, it's
not
the
great.
carpet.
Yeah, I guess so.
This
It
carpet
feels
has been.
particularly strong
Just be
today.
careful.
Yeah, somebody must be walking with bare feet.
Ew.
I don't know,
I'm
just,
gonna have them, I'll have them deodorize it.
it's like,
But it's like, the garbage is here. I don't know. I asked them to clean up and it's like, ugh.
I mean, It's all tolerable, it's just noticeable today. Somehow it feels a little bit more foot stinky.
Some more what?
Like foot stinky, it's like stinky like a foot. Sorry. I
Wait.
swear it's not me.
I don't know. This water pill is killing me. What time is it? It's water pill. Here we go. Take another. Between every other thing I'm taking, I'm going to destroy my body.
What? What do you mean?
Now I'm gonna go for water pills.
Water pills?
Water pill. What is it?
It's a cup, look at that.
Maybe it's
Drink
the,
right there.
what do you have on, what do you have, your laptop and your
And my
Tablet?
iPad, yeah,
iPad?
but I don't have a strip close to me to plug in here.
Can't pull it down, push it down, little commissioner?
No, it's a short plug, and it'll get in Sal's feet.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
Is it a USB or is it a C?
No, it's just a regular,
Here,
No, I mean the.
oh, a C.
Oh,
here. Mine should be long enough.
Is it a USB-C?
Oh.
No, the piece that connects to the, no, it's a lightning. Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for that one?
No.
Oh, yeah, it's square, okay.
Yeah, see, it's a
Oh.
USB-C. That's all right, it's.
Ended up getting these
There we
longer
go.
ones.
there we
I
go.
got it.
There
And then I will use this,
Boom, boom.
yeah.
I feel like everything I have is the wrong USB kind now.
I know, right?
I'm in such a.
My daughter for Mother's Day, my eldest daughter, she gave me a sign that lights up and has no plug. You have to stick it in the computer to charge it.
Uh-huh.
It's really cute. It's a heart with all the kids' names on it.
Oh, that's
It has
sweet.
mother in the middle, but it's cute. And it lights up different colors. So my daughter goes, "You need a little color in your life." It's like a little disc. It's like it flashes like red, green, blue.
It's very cute.
I said, "Where'd you find these things?" She wants to have these little weird, unique things, like those glows that it's sort of like a magnetic thing. It's like a hook, right? And it looks like a little lamp, but it holds the magnetic, holds the ball that glows. It's like a little starshine, little moon thing. I don't know where she finds these things. She just goes online and looks at these things, and I go, "Stop wasting your money."
My mom called me 4 days before Mother's Day and she was like, "I saw flowers at the grocery store and I remembered. Don't send me any. Don't waste your money."
I always tell my kids, "Don't do it," but they do.
I think I should have actually done it. I just sent her cash.
Back to Texas?
Yeah, she's still in Texas. She's doing okay. She's like, I think she likes just driving around and being, now that she's healthy again, she's like, I'm autonomous here, you know, like, I don't have to wait for you to take me to Costco and then yell at me about everything I buy. You know, she just gets to do whatever she wants on her own.
Ah, listen, independence.
I know, I gotta go down there and visit her.
What city is
Uh-oh, wait.
she in Houston?
Yeah, she's in Houston. She's, that's where I was raised, so. It's real hot. Did you hear about the storm that they just had? It was really
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
strange.
ask. Was she okay?
She didn't have power for 3 days, just got it last night. And thankfully it wasn't so hot, but they were starting to consider moving to like one of my aunt's kids' houses because, you know, my mom, all she does now is like watch YouTube, and without internet and without power, I think it was more of a question of like going insane. Yeah. I was like, go outside and garden. She's like, too hot. I'm going to stay inside in the dark. But it was such a freak because I heard it described almost as a tornado. But we don't have tornadoes down there. We have hurricanes. You know, it's all offshore winds that come and, you know, mess us up. In northern Texas, you get tornadoes, but Everything's just so unexpected, I guess, unpredictable these days.
Wow.
Yeah, a million people without power all of a sudden. It's crazy. Have you ever been down there? Yeah.
No, my daughter had a boyfriend whose parents lived down there, so she went a couple of times and was pleasantly surprised. You know, us Northerners hear all the horror stories about those Texans,
Yeah.
and we can't imagine why anybody of color wants to live down there, but.
But there's so many, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So many people of color. Like, Houston's the most diverse city in America,
Yeah.
but it's the rest of the.
Well, she was very pleasantly surprised. She went there, and then she went to Austin. So she was 2 times in Houston and 2 times in Austin, and she said, the people are so nice and pleasant and polite. It's just it's wonderful. She was like in shock.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
It is.
Not so bad. You know, you have politics and then you have real life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, certainly. But I definitely appreciate being in New York. You know, you grow up there as a kid, and nobody knew who Korea was or like what it was, and you know, you
Yeah.
feel, and you come up here and there's a lot of people that look like you were, you know, in different places. And I think that's a different way to grow up than maybe the way I felt sometimes down there. Especially in the sticks, like driving between college, Houston to Austin, you stop for gas and you'd be like, like, we good here?
I didn't say that. The first time they went to Houston, they drove in because she was living in St. Louis. Her boyfriend was in Cape Girardeau, which is the southern part of Missouri, southeastern part.
Oh.
So they drove down to Houston and they left at like 5:30 in the evening. So she said the stretch from, now I gotta look at the map.
So is Chase coming back, Chase?
I guess from Missouri, you're going through Arkansas?
I'll tell you in 1 second. Where
It's nice
she
and
said
hot,
it was,
Texas,
like,
right now.
Crazy.
Terrible.
Okay, so she said the stretch from, I'll tell you how they went. Yeah, from around Texarkana down until they got to
East
Houston.
Texas? Yeah.
She said they did that at night, at like 1 in the morning
Ooh.
till like 3:30 in the morning. She
Oh.
said she was petrified the whole time
Yeah.
that they would have to stop somewhere or would be stopped.
Yeah.
She said it was the worst couple of hours. She hated that part of the trip. She says, because it's just I think 1 or 2 lanes in each direction.
It's desolate.
There's nothing
Really
there.
desolate,
There
yeah.
are no lights. She says it's really scary.
I don't like
So she
traveling at
didn't
night.
like that at all. But then
How
when
was
they went
traffic?
home, they went home in the daytime. So
Yeah.
it's like fine.
Yeah, why would
Yeah.
you travel really late at night?
They waited for him to get off from his job.
Oh, gosh.
And because he lives in Houston, he's used to that. So it was like no biggie for him.
Yeah, yeah,
This
I'm
is what
pretty-
I do.
I'm used, it doesn't scare me
Yeah.
the same way, but you certainly make more educated decisions about where to stop. you
Yes,
know?
exactly.
You gotta like be, I don't know.
Yeah, so she didn't like that, but then the next time she went, she flew in. So that was much better.
Yeah. But yeah, that stretch between Missouri, like that East Texas.
Yeah.
Also, I've done a lot of, going across to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. And this last time I was in Mississippi, I was asked what business I had there. And I think they were more skeptical of my Brooklyn license than they were of anything else. They were just like, New York, huh?
You're not planning on staying, are you?
They're like, what do you... There were so many jokes I wanted to make, but I didn't make it.
Good for you. That's why you're here to tell the story today.
There might be a direct
I
correlation
know,
there.
that is funny.
We are almost ready. What time is it?
11:15, right on the dot.
Right, now, sir, we
He's here, he's here.
Where's my clock? Where's my clock on here? There we go. Make sure I have both clocks.
Am I still on Teams?
Okay, everyone, we are back. We are live. We are streaming. Ms. Matias, you may proceed with the public hearing.
My mic is on. It's good morning. This is the New York City Board of Standards and Appeals public hearing for May 20th, 2024. First item up is continued hearing, item number 14, 8599BZ, Volume 2, 1106 Metcalf Avenue, the Bronx.
You get it?
There it is.
I see Daniel Ash. Okay, I'm not able to, from here, I'm not able to make him a presenter.
Let's see, where is he? I don't, oh, here he is, okay. Make a presenter, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and commissioners, just make sure the microphone is on the dais.
My microphone is on.
There's the echo, and I don't know if it's the projector that's got a speaker on it.
Yeah. Do you see Daniel?
I don't see him. I made him a
Yes,
presenter.
I'm here. Yes, Mr. Ash
there you
is present.
Okay.
He's not appearing on the screen.
He is.
One second.
Yeah, I see him
Yeah.
on.
He's on my screen.
He's
Yeah.
not on YouTube.
Oh, so what do we do?
I'm going to request everybody to be patient. We are using a new app for our public participation. So please bear with us as we kind of iron out all the rings. And but I think we're in very good hand. Again, I want to thank our DCAS IT team, O'Neill, Martin, and Ishrat Chaudhary, and Carlo, who has been working tirelessly in getting us to this point. But if you, applicants, my only request would be, if you are seeing anything that's a little bit,
We have to unpin all the
like you're not
commissioners.
able to hear us clearly or see us or anything, please send a
I
note
say
to
pin?
either
So,
Ms.
hold on.
Matthias or to Mr. Costanza directly so that we can try to address that. As we are, as we do these things, we find out there might be little kinks that we didn't realize were there. Thank you for your patience.
I see him on the screen now.
Yeah, on YouTube, I see him.
You
Yeah.
do see him on YouTube?
Chase, he's there.
If you don't pin me, then I just show up on the corner of your screen.
Can you turn off your YouTube? But it's an echo. Are you on YouTube?
No.
Why
I
is
think
it
it's in our
echoing?
room. Whenever.
It's just the volume. You guys are okay, you can go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
My name is Daniel Ash from Walter Gorman Engineering. I heard the commissioner's review session earlier, and I wanted to talk about certain things that you've seen as non-compliance. Obviously, this project has gone on a long time, longer than any of us have wanted. It even dates back to 2000, when they originally built the building, and before my time, before any of the current people involved's time. We received the approval from the board in 2020, and unfortunately, that was right around COVID time. They did not get finished in time for obtaining the CLO, but they were very close. They were at the last step. And then the term expired. So we came back to renew the term, and this is now our second or third hearing since the extension of term request. And we've cleaned up a lot of things on the site, the parking area, the landscaping. It was news to us during the last hearing that they were using the site for food trucks. So we reached out to everybody to find out what was going on and found out the dealer had food trucks there. So we quickly had them remove it. I understand that they are elsewhere in the neighborhood across the street. It was mentioned by the commissioner. They're not associated with our site, so policing them off of the property, I'm not sure how to do that because the dealer here is not profiting from that at all. But they have not been on our site, and he provided an affidavit, so he doesn't want to perjure himself. He's not looking to have any food trucks there. There was a question about cars parking in the one of the fueling lanes. I found out the reason for that, that's the operator's car, because that's the area where you had us remove the lighting that was too close to the residential lot line. So when they removed that lighting, that's a dark area at night. They didn't want any cars accidentally going to fuel up over there. So the operator parks his car to block it.
There's 3 cars there,
Yeah, that was where they were.
and they're there during the day, not at night. One of
And they
them
stay
doesn't
there.
And one of them doesn't have plates either.
Would you be interested in seeing the photos? Certainly, but in my discussions with the dealer, they indicated they were not parking there for any for-profit reason. They were just trying to keep those dispensers from being used.
There are other ways to do that. You could just put a yellow cone and kind of prevent that. So I think there are just too many compounding issues that is giving this board some pause for why this board should consider what is being stated as correct. So you really have to do one more step of thorough vetting with your provider. I don't know if your provider is there to speak today, but they fully need to understand that this is like we discover one issue, it gets moved away, then another issue pops up. And I'm not sure why the owner is doing that. This site, everything that the site operator needs to make this a viable gasoline pumping station with a convenience store, everything is there. What is the additional need for these that is causing non-compliancy with the board condition? The applicant needs to understand that. And he's risking his ability to operate this by being non-compliant. Every step, every time we fix one, another issue comes up. So please do talk with your client and clarify what they can or cannot do. Oh, my speaker, is it on right now? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So do go back to your client and talk to them, and we want the client to be at the next meeting and address these issues that Commissioner Otley Brown raised, and maybe by now that pump is fixed, and if it is fixed, maybe this issue will go away. But we're just constantly struggling to bring this to code, to compliance, and so please look into that. And I'm going to keep this open. Still, I'm not going to close on it. So I want you to bring your client at the next hearing. We will schedule this for June, and between now and then, we will be monitoring, and after that also, not just between now and then, and fixing all the corrections that we have observed.
Okay.
Okay, please. Any questions or comments for Mr. Ash from the board?
Weird.
Okay,
What did you just do?
all right. Let's go to the, public.
What did you do to me, Chase? Okay. The case we're currently discussing is 8599BZ, Volume 2, 1106
Do you want to read out?
Metcalf Avenue, the Bronx.
Let me read out what they need to do for the.
Yeah, I can't see it yet. The screen is dark.
Okay. So this is for the application for Metcalf Avenue. Please join via Microsoft Team. The meeting ID is 260-987-129268. Passcode is lowercase x, uppercase M, lowercase r, lowercase c, uppercase a, lowercase j. Or you can dial in using the number, which is 1-646-893-7109, and the phone conference ID is 720-290-39, and hit pound.
After a brief hold and wait to be admitted, you will press 5 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute. Okay, let me go to people. I don't know what to do when you touch my computer.
Mr. Ash, please do let your client know that they are making it difficult for us to put a closure on this. If this site is compliant, I think we were very sympathetic with the issue of the pandemic, but every time there's something that pops up. So please do ask your client to be compliant with the conditions all throughout, and then we can close it. You have seen this board close on applications on first day itself. We have no desire to want to prolong these hearings.
Understood.
So I'm going to put this for June.
Okay. I have 31 seconds left for anyone to call in.
And your operator and property owner, if they are same or different, please make sure they're also at the hearing.
Yes.
And is your operator and or property owner the same in this case?
No, it's an independent dealer.
So who is responsible for maintaining the site and making sure the sidewalk shall be free and clear of any cars parked? Is it the operator or the property owner?
If it's long-term items, it's the property owner. If it's just someone pulling up and leaving their car on the sidewalk, then the operator would
Okay.
be the one to tell them to leave.
So I think we received the affidavit from the property owner, right?
We received it from the operator.
From the operator, okay.
Well, the owner needs to be here.
So the owner also needs to be here and the operator, both. Thank you.
Okay, move on, Madam Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ash.
Okay, so I
Thank you.
move him to attendee, right? Change. Okay, thank you. Item number 15, item number 15, 13193BZ is moved to June 10th. We will not discuss that. New cases, item number 16, 24147BZ, 162325 Hancock Street, Queens.
This would be Alexia?
And Alexia,
I-
make a presenter. Turn your camera on and your microphone, Ms. Landsman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, are you the only one here? Okay,
Yes.
please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
My name is Alexia Livingston. I'm here from Shelby LLPC on behalf of the applicant. We had attended the executive session and heard the board's comments. It seems that the only outstanding comments is the board is requesting photographs of the inside, which we're happy to provide before the next hearing. And then I just wanted to clarify the board, the conditions of the 2018 resolution. Does the board want us to just provide a compliance chart again, or how is it? Okay.
Yeah, so what I noticed was the last iteration of the condition.
Wait, hold on.
Am I to hold on?
What happened?
So the last iteration, board resolution had a reference to the prior board conditions, and it wasn't clear which were of those, which conditions were superseded, which conditions still continued and was on the books. So if you could provide the prior resolutions conditions and indicate which ones are still applicable versus superseded, so that would be helpful, and indicate which ones are still, and of the ones that are still applicable, that the site is in compliance with. It seems it is, but we just need to verify that, because I couldn't go through every one of them to know which conditions are still in play.
Right. Understood. Okay, that's fine. We'll clarify what is part of the previous resolution and the one superseding that. Happy to provide clarification. And I think with that, the board had no other outstanding comments.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay.
So the case we're currently, go to the public? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you, Madam
No,
Chair.
no, go ahead.
The case we're currently discussing is 24147BZ, 16-2325 Hancock Street, Queens. Should you wish to discuss, dial 646-893-7101. You will enter phone conference ID number 720-290-39 and press the pound sign. There will be a brief hold and you will wait to be admitted. Press *5 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute if you're calling in on the phone. And by the web, you will enter the meeting ID number as 260-987-129-268, and the passcode is lowercase x, uppercase M, lowercase r and c, and uppercase A, and lowercase j. Once you're permitted in, you'll have 3 minutes in which to discuss. I don't see anybody's hands raised.
All right.
It's in the room.
Just will the board be okay if we were to close this?
You want to close it?
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't stay. You should have been better. You should have stayed. Okay, I see no hands up and no one has called in.
So I'm going to make a motion to close, but Ms. Landesman, please provide the photos and the compliance chart indicating prior board conditions and which ones are superseded, which ones are still applicable, and a letter supporting that those prior conditions are still being met. And if you need to provide any photos to support that, please provide that. I think you do.
Understood.
I think you do, based on what I quickly could gather, but I cannot confirm it, so you need to confirm that.
Understood. We'll get that to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
Motion to close?
Yeah.
Chair Shanda,
Aye.
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Sheta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
We can schedule this for June.
Do you want to do June?
Is June going to work?
We will get everything to you by the end of the week.
Oh, okay, because submission date is May 23rd.
We could give.
I mean,
23rd is the submission date. If you cannot do it, please reach out to the project manager.
We'll do. I think we can squeeze it in there. We'll try our best, and we'll let Vinroy know if we need a
so
deferral.
like Friday or something, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Alexia.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. New cases, item number 17, 1693BZ, 110 Christopher Street, Manhattan. This case is postponed. Item number 18, 6213BZ, 2703 East Tremont Avenue, the Bronx. This is
I
Mr.
don't know who is the
Alexander.
representative.
I think this was Mr. Alexander.
I don't see.
Yeah, somebody's waiting in the room.
That's for the next case. That's Hillary. I got her in.
I don't know why Mr. Patel is there. We have voted on his application. Mr. Patel, we voted to approve Richmond Avenue, so you do not need to appear before the board. The decision has been made. I do not see anybody by that name.
I thought it was that person who had their hand up, Alexander.
I do not see anybody by that name.
Once again, I'm calling 6213BZ, 2703 East Tremont Avenue, the Bronx.
Mr. Bell, can you please reach out to the applicant? Call them and ask them.
Who is the lead person on this?
I see Hillary.
Hillary's there and Mr. Canzada, but that's not who we need.
No.
Do you want a second call and go to Hillary?
Well, I think Mr. Bell is,
Okay.
if he can reach, then he can join in.
Yeah, because we don't know if he's, they were there in the room earlier.
I don't, from that list name, I could.
Yeah, but they were in the room earlier. They were raising their hand during that case, when we were discussing the case.
Okay.
Sorry, Commissioner Shabeta.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I
With your
can't see
camera.
why I'm getting booted off every few minutes.
Oh, boy. Okay. Mr. Bell, were you able to reach the applicant? Okay. All right. Mr. Bell, I will suggest that you reach out to the applicant and ask them to join us. Meanwhile, by the time the applicant comes and joins, I'm going to go to the next case. That would be the 202371 BZ.
Okay. Zoning calendar, continued hearings, item number 19, 2023-71BZ, 504-510 East 62nd Street and 511 East 61st Street, Manhattan. This is Miss Hillary Odsrod.
Yeah,
And let me
she is
make her
there in the room.
presenter.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. Still morning, I'm sorry. Can you hear me, Ms. Odsrod? Thank you. Okay, great. Please raise your right hand. Oh, I'm sorry, is there anyone with you?
No.
Okay, I apologize. Do you, raise your right hand, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board, and to respond honestly to the board member questions? I didn't hear you.
We couldn't hear you, I think.
I do.
Okay.
Okay, please state your name for the record, and please respond to the board's comments at review session.
Good morning, everyone. Hillary Ostrop, Hamburg of Venable LLP for the applicant. We attended this morning's review session and thank the board for the thorough review of the application. It didn't seem that there were any further comments. So we appreciate your review.
Yes, and thank you and your team for presenting the information in a way that was that went with your reasonings. That was very helpful. Any questions or comments? Okay, let's go to the public then.
Okay, so the case that we're currently discussing is 2023-71BZ, 504-510 East 62nd Street, Manhattan. Should you wish to discuss this matter, please dial 646-893-7101. You will enter phone conference ID number 720, it's not showing up the screen, 29039, and press the pound sign. There will be a brief hold, and you will wait to be admitted. Press star 5 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute if you're calling in on the phone. And by the web, the webinar ID number is 260-987-129-268, and the passcode is lowercase x, uppercase M, lowercase r and c, and uppercase A and lowercase j. I don't have that thing to share, that's why, the screen thing to share.
Okay.
I just have it on my screen, sorry. I'm cut off on that screen on that side. Vinra, come into the room. Okay, time's run out. Okay, no one is called. I don't see anybody raising their hands or calling in. Did we make a submission on this?
There's no submission needed, so I make a motion to close.
I'm sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Just get together. Chair, motion to close. Chair Shanda,
Aye?
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Shetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon,
Aye.
and there's no submission.
No submission required, and we will let you know when we are going to schedule this for decision. Most likely it will be in July.
Would it be possible, considering there's nothing else needed, to have the vote before July?
We only have one hearing date, and that is in June 11th, 12th. We need a little bit of time to prepare the resolution on this one.
Understood. So essentially, just so I'm clear, the vote and the resolution will occur almost simultaneously. It won't be a vote and then the resolution will come 30 to 60 days after.
I couldn't hear the last part. There was an
No,
echo.
After the vote, the decision will come within 30 to 60 days after the vote.
Yeah. We will do our best to have the resolutions provided soon after the vote. And so you should actually reach out to our general counsel on that. But that will give us enough time, I think, to bring it closer to your deadline.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep, thank you. Good seeing you.
Thank you.
You as
Okay.
well, Heidi.
The next I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Azrad. The next case is 2022-95BZ, 1249 Sutter Avenue, Brooklyn.
This would be Mr.
Mr.
Kanzada
Kanzada.
and Divakar Gupta.
So let me make them presenters. I don't see Mr. Gupta.
I think they'll
They're
always
together,
be,
probably in the
they
same
always
office
are,
again, right?
yeah, together.
Oh, okay. I'm going to let Mr. Alexander in. Just, you're going to have to wait, though, after this case, Mr. Alexander. Sorry. Okay. Mr. Kanzada, please put your camera on and your, oh, what happened? Lower your hand. I made you a presenter.
Hello.
Can you
Hi,
put your camera on, Mr. Gupta? Mr. Gupta?
Yes, I just turned it on. It should be.
It's on my side. I just encountered this. Right-click on your name, and you're gonna see hide me. Uncheck that.
Okay.
For me?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Let me try it again.
I made him a presenter. Huh, I don't know. Let's get
Let me
it-
turn the camera off and then on again.
There we are.
Oh,
okay, there
great.
you are.
Thank
Yes.
you, gentlemen. You want to raise your right hands, please? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, but sorry. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board, and to respond honestly to the board member questions?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at review session.
Diwakar Gupta for the applicant.
Nasir Khanzada, the applicant.
Good morning. So we listened to the review session earlier this morning. So we will maintain the flowers and the landscaping. The Leyland cypress trees that we planted, they grow pretty quickly and they have a long lifespan. They live like 10 to 25 years. The rhododendron plants, those are the flowering plants. They grow more slowly, but they're perennial plants, so they live. Actually, I think what I was reading was that they can live for up to 40 years. And the owner will make sure to maintain these plants so that way they continue to look good. And the planting area, so it's in-ground planting. We excavate to a depth of 2 feet deep to make sure that, and then to make sure that the plants can thrive. And the plants have been there for several months now, I think. I have to double check exactly when they were planted, and they are doing well.
Okay.
And then the car wash sign that was previously on Euclid Avenue, that's not going to be replaced. That's been taken down, and the structure has been removed as well. The securing access to the, or making sure the access to the site is restricted along the north side, the rear lot line. So there is a gate on both sides of the building. I don't know if we showed it in the on the plans, but there are gates on both sides. So when the gates are closed, there's no access to the rear lot line.
Has that bollard been placed as recommended by the traffic engineer to provide a more clear queuing guideline for the cars entering the car wash?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I spoke to the owner. He said that he planned to do all this interior work, the enclosed garbage room, and this thing at one time, everything. So if board wants before, we can do before. If board approves, we can do after. So he's planning to do one contract for everything.
So the trash room and bollard will be done during the summertime?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about the street tree planting? Have you reached out to the Parks Department?
Yeah, we submitted it, and we're waiting for them to review it. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
They have a time delay of 3 to 4 months. So we are dealing with the guy who always helps us out. So if it is done faster, we'll let you know. Other than that, they will approve it, and we will install the tree after approval. Or sometime we don't install the tree, we give the money to the park department. They install the tree because the liability of the park department. Otherwise, sometime we install the tree, somebody hit the tree, then it's our liability. So we prefer to pay to the park department the street tree fund, and they will install whenever they feel like it.
Okay. So you could just provide a letter clarifying those timelines, and that would be helpful for all of them. So the other question was, so your neighbor noticed some elements that were stored on the roof of the building. Have those been removed? Because that can prove to be a fire hazard. That's why I'm raising that question.
Those are being removed. They're being taken down.
So I just called the owner. Yeah, I just called the owner. So he said, not equipment, some, I would say like garbage, somebody threw it over. So they removed it, and he said he's sending us the pictures. So when he goes to site, he will send us the pictures as the proof that we did it.
Okay. Good, great. I do want to thank you and your property for and your client for being responsive to all our concerns and comments. So there was this other question that the neighbor had raised about they noticed some safety issues at the corner of Dosher next to the car wash exit area. I don't know if your property owner has noticed anything or any issues. So the suggestion was if there's any solution that you can come up with. It seems you have provided more trees there, which technically I think you're presenting the argument like by providing more trees, you're making it difficult for anybody to access the area. Is that?
But they have gate on the both side of the property. So in the night time, people get in there and they do smoke weed or whatever. So owner likes to close end of the day, the back, both of the gates should be closed, so nobody can get into the back of the building. In the front of the building, we have some plans, so they will not get in there. But mostly in the night time, people go to the back of the building and they do whatever they have to do. So for that reason, we have 2 gates on both sides, so they are always closed. So they will keep the doors closed.
Yeah, I think the photo that was submitted by the neighbor, it showed it was outside the gate. It's, so there's that area is where the safety concern was raised. It wasn't within behind.
Yeah, Yeah, initially we were planting there, but we didn't put the last two plants because we like to keep it open, so nobody hide behind it, and the plants are like, blocking the view. So first two plants by the dosher, we eliminated those, and after the third one, we planted everything. So basically, up to the gate, I think there's one plant sticking out, rest of the plants are behind the gate. And this area is clean, so nobody can hide there or do whatever they want. So we want to keep it clear between the gate and the brochure area, clear, visible, clean.
Okay. So it's also for your own safety, so I'm glad you're thinking about that and finding a solution. Any other questions or comments for the commissioners? Okay, let's go to the public. I want to know, while we are waiting for public to join in, to let me know how much time you would need to take care of the remaining elements, which is the trash room, the bollard, removal of all the unnecessary material from the site. Let's go to the public. You can think about the timeline.
Okay, the case we're currently discussing is 2022-95BZ, 1249 Sutter Avenue, Brooklyn. Should you wish to discuss, you can call in by phone, dialing 646-893-7101. You will enter the phone conference ID number 720-29039 and press the pound sign. There will be a brief hold, and you will wait to be admitted. Press star 5 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute if you're calling in on the phone. And by the web, the meeting ID number is 260-987-129-268, and the passcode is lowercase x, uppercase M, lowercase r, and C, uppercase A, lowercase j. I can't share the, okay.
So for the timeline, I think 1 to 2 months to complete those changes that you went over, the bollard and the trash and so forth, and then less time for that to clean up the roof.
2 months to take care of everything?
Everything,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so we will either schedule this for end of August or early September.
August,
Yep.
September, okay.
I am going to make a motion to close, but we will take the decision, a vote, based on these improvements made. Okay? It would be either end of August or September. If you need, so I'm giving you the flexibility. If you think, based on your work progress, if you need to take it to September, let the project manager know. We will then schedule it for September. Okay.
And if you do early, we will request early.
Pardon? I didn't hear the last.
If we do it early, then we will request earlier date.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me. Okay. I don't see anybody raising their hands, calling in. Do you want to give it another minute or something?
I think 2 minutes went by, right?
Yeah,
Okay, then make a motion to close.
okay. Motion to close, Chair Shonda,
Aye?
Vice Chair Shabeta,
Aye.
Commissioner Otley Brown,
Aye.
Commissioner Scetta,
Aye.
Commissioner Yoon.
Aye.
Okay. We are now recalling item number 8.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Recalling item number 18, 6213BZ, 2703 East Tremont Avenue, the Bronx, and that is Mr. Alexander. Let me make him a presenter. Thank you for your patience, Mr. Alexander. Do you have your microphone on?
I do, and thank you very much for recalling us. We appreciate the outreach from our misapprehension as to procedures.
Is there anyone else sharing this with you, or are you by yourself, sir?
I was not able to get my client back. Unfortunately, he had to step into another meeting, but that's Andrew Tuck from Yellow Cab.
Let me,
But anyway, I was going to back up and go ahead, please.
yes, let me swear you in first before we have any more testimony. Please raise your right hand. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before this board and to respond honestly to board member questions?
I do.
Please state your name for the record and proceed to respond to the board's comments at hearing. At review session,
Sure.
sorry.
Oh, good. Sure, my name's Neil Alexander. I'm a partner in the law firm of Cuddy and Fader based in White Plains, New York. We're here on behalf of New York Bacon LLC as read into the calendar. This application was originally submitted in February of this year. It was essentially to extend the term of the July 16th, 2019 extension itself. This is part of the periodic continuous extensions relative to the drive-through since going back to about the 1980s for this Wendy's facility. We had the opportunity to hear your comments. We apologize in advance that some of our information wasn't packaged the way that the BSA has historically liked it to be seen. We will obviously understandably repackage it appropriately, but if we could try and just jump into some of that to let you know that it is there, it just may be in a different non-standard fashion. So we apologize for that. But we did have the opportunity during March to appear in front of both the Community Board Number 10 as a whole for a public hearing on March 21st, and prior to that, we also appeared in front of the Housing and Zoning Committee. Attached to our April 15th response to notice of comments are copies of those resolutions of getting their support and approval or recommendation more accurately. The April 15th submission we made to you also provided some photographs. So since in Q4 of 2023, the property went through some renovation work. Those are the drawings you received sort of the very last minute, as opposed to the 2019 drawings from FSI, which were the prior approval. Those drawings that you received last minute were in an attempt to say that there has been work out there that was done in coordination with the Department of Buildings. We received not only work permits for those parts of work that required work permits, we've also received a certificate of compliance per the DOB Now website for that work, as well as a letter of completion. A letter of completion was actually from about 5 days ago. So that work was all interior renovation work. And some aesthetic work to the ethos, and has received appropriate approvals. And I think what we were trying to accomplish, and we understand from your comments before, we have to do this differently and better, was to substantiate that there have been no changes to the actual site plan in the years, but there's been maintenance to the building and investment in the property. To its overall upkeep, and that has gone through the DOB process and been determined not to require either any review by you all, or even in some cases any work permits, because but we did obtain plumbing and electrical and roof work permits for that work. So we're here asking to essentially continue to operate. The applicant missed the expiration of the term, the original term, by a couple of months, and so we're seeking to continue the special permit pursuant to your approvals and for a waiver to continue to operate as enunciated in our application. As per our original submission, there have been no changes in the hours of operation, and we are current with the fire department. There are no violations existing, and we would love direction as to, it sounds like we missed as to how to package it in your standard way. So, we will bring that to our architect and have them coordinate with staff with your blessing, if appropriate, to get that into the appropriate fashion for an approval, and so that way the housekeeping is been addressed suitably.
Yeah, thank you. We'll send you some samples. I think the critical thing is the drawing and the compliance. And with regards to hours of operation, you said no changes, right? No changes to the hours of operation.
That is correct, and we enunciated that in our April 15th response to notice of comments. We went through each and every one of the conditions of approval and responded to them in responses 3 as well as 4.
Okay, so Again, I think this being your first time, I understand that, every agency has their own particular procedure and format requirement. So we're looking for sites, especially that are coming back for extension, to show that they are in compliance with prior conditions. So whatever the prior conditions and findings were are what need to be, are the things that we need to have on the drawings, and those are the drawings that we forward to DOB. So we will, our project manager will send you a sample of the compliance, the statement of facts, and the drawing, so that you kind of know how all three of those elements put together, and also the sign chart. That's also an integral, because that was one of the conditions, that the sign had to comply with C12 requirement. And I did not see the prior plans showing anything with regards to sign chart or anything. So you would have to kind of do that and show, and that's an additional plan set, the sheet that you would have to add to your plan set.
Understood, Chair. I was just looking at our drawings, and I appreciate what you're saying as to the fact that our signage is on elevations as opposed to a separate sign chart. So we will re-engage the architect who did our DOB drawings as opposed to the former architect who was involved in 2019, because it seems that standards have changed, and we will make sure that sorry, I'm turning pages just to make sure I'm being accurate here. But yes, we don't have anything, we only have elevations explaining our signage, so we will get that cleaned up for you.
Yeah. And if you have any questions with regards to the submission, please do reach out to our project manager and show that. Unfortunately, I cannot close on this because we need to look at the drawings and your compliance to make sure everything is according to what the prior board had granted, and the findings are still holding.
Understood. We appreciate, like you said, calling us back, and we'll get everything back into package correctly. Is there, and maybe this is for staff as opposed to you, but to reappear on June 10th, we would need to get that in.
So unfortunately, for June 10th, the submission deadline is this 23rd. So I don't think you will be, and you'll need some time. So I would suggest we schedule this for July. This gives you an entire, I think towards the end of, when is the submission
July
date?
29th, if we're doing late July, the submission date would be July 11th.
And for July, early July, is there a hearing?
July 15th, 16th, the submission date would be June 27th.
So it's either of those July dates.
Yep.
But you have to make your submission by those hearing submission dates of June for the early July, or early July for the late July hearing. So you should let our project manager know which one you would be able to meet after you have consulted with your applicant and all the submission that you need to provide. Sorry, with your architect team. That's what I meant.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good seeing you.
Yep, take care now.
Sorry, we have to go to the public.
Yes.
Don't go away.
Don't
We
hang
have to
up.
go to-
Yep, not
don't
leaving.
hang up. Yeah.
Okay, the case we are currently discussing is 6213BZ, 2703 East Tremont Avenue, the Bronx. By phone, you can call in. If you wish to discuss by phone, call in dial 646-893-7101. Enter the phone conference ID number 720-290-39 and press the pound sign. There will be a brief hold, and you will wait to be admitted. Once you're admitted, press star 5 to raise your hand, star 6 to unmute if you're calling in on the phone. By the web, you can go to our website and join in. And the meeting ID number is 260-987-129-268. And the passcode is lowercase x, uppercase M, lowercase r, lowercase c, uppercase A, and lowercase j. Once you're recognized, you'll have 3 minutes in which to discuss. Thank you, Jella. change that ringtone. Okay, I see no one.
Okay, nobody called in.
No one calling, raise hands.
Thank you, and we'll see you in July.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Just for the record, the two cases that were scheduled for today will be called on second call tomorrow, and those two cases are, sorry, where's the other one?
10 and 12.
Sorry, thank you.
Ridgewood.
2021-51BZ, 2021-52A, 2020-53BZ, 2020-54A, which is 95 and 105 Ridgeway Avenue. That is a decision item. Also the decision item, 2023-48BZ, 7509 Shore Road, Brooklyn. Those two cases will be recalled tomorrow.
At the end of
At the end of the calendar.
At the end of the public hearing.
Public hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay.
This concludes the public hearing for May 20th, 2021.
Thank you.
May 20th, May 2024.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone's patience. We leave? Close? Yeah, right.
How do we leave?
Yeah, just.
How do we leave?
A little close button right there.
Where?